When your legislators are corrupt, you should be worried. If your executive, peopled by crooks, you should be afraid. But when the judiciary stops being court of law, the people should be alarmed. So there is nothing political about that. There is nothing personal about that. This is all about Nigeria. It is about the country we want to leave behind for posterity, for our children. What values are we building that country with? Is it a country where nothing matters any longer once the person can snatch it, grab it? If you speak against that, you must hate the person. Is that the kind of country we have become? It is up to the judiciary to decide whether he wishes to do justice or whether he wants to continue wearing blinkers and pretending that it is a court of law when justice is vacant completely in his court.
Presidential candidate of PDP is Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who went to expose the APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was eventually declared as the president of Nigeria in the 25th of February 2023 general election, unveiled to Nigerians and the whole world that the certificate presented by Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC to Independent National Electoral Commission, among other certificates, were forged by him. Welcome to Politics on the Wheel with Jay, and this is Elite TV. So in reaction to this, Dele Farotimi was asked if the Supreme Court can actually entertain further evidences, as the case has already been at the Supreme Court as they appealed the judgment from the Presidential Petition Tribunal, where the election declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu was affirmed, and of which most of these narcotic and drug trafficking, among other related issues, criminal issues, were thrown aside. And here is his response in regards to if this certificate saga, which the PDP has been able to unravel and made it public that the certificate that Tinubu is flying with is forged.
About the capacity to deliver justice or to give equity. However, I do know that within the inherent jurisdiction of that court, it has the powers, if it so desires and if it finds the will, to hear evidence that will suggest that the person who is sat in the highest office of the land is a career criminal. That is entirely up to the Supreme Court. It is up to the court to decide whether it is capable of saving what we have described variously as a democracy. What I have said is very simple. No, I'm sorry, Dr. Abati. I am sorry, Dr. Abati. Please rein in, Mr. Azan. Rein him in. My words are not ambiguous. I was speaking with you specifically, Dr. Abati, over a year ago. I was away in America, when you asked me specifically about the appointment of the current CJN. He was appointed in an acting capacity at the time. And my opinion are on paper. They are clear, they are not ambiguous. I have zero trust in the capacity of the CJN to deliver justice. That is not political. That is something I had said long before there was a Peter Obi. So there is nothing political about that. There is nothing personal about that. This is all about Nigeria. It is about the country we want to leave behind for posterity, for our children. What values are we building that country with? Is it a country where nothing matters any longer once the person can snatch it, grab it? If you speak against that, you must hate the person. Is that the kind of country we have become? It is up to the judiciary to decide whether he wishes to do justice or whether he wants to continue wearing blinkers and pretending that it is a court of law when justice is vacant completely in his court. This is not about legalese. It is about building a society based on morality, equity, justice, and even law. If we are now faced with a situation where in our courts, the law does not matter anymore. You have a Lawan in the Senate, even you have an Akpabio, and then you are asking me if I have confidence in the capacity of that judiciary to do justice. I am telling you straight up, no. If anybody does not like that, it is up to them. The point I'm raising is, when you have this much imputation of criminality, whether it is proven or not is another ball game entirely. It is not even seemly. Already all over the world, our reputations are in tatters simply because of the person who sits in the highest office in our land. And then we are being told it is wrong to ask questions. We must hate him if we are asking questions. I hate nobody. I hate their deeds.
The problem in Nigeria is this: most of us think that, you know, one can do something and go scot-free with it while the other cannot, you know. So now the little girl who wrote jam scored, and then probably because of greed went ahead to, you know, went ahead to produce another result from jam. Let's say he went, you know, to do some graphic work on it, and, you know, put it out there, and it caused a lot of controversies, and the lady was suspended, you know, by the jam, and, you know, there was a lot of outcry, you know, across Nigeria. But now we have the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, of whom it was alleged that he committed forgery, that he, you know, the certificate he was carrying is not from the Chicago State University. And fortunately for Nigerians, and unfortunately for him, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar took this case further, went to the court, subpoenaed, and get those evidences before the whole world. And it was, you know, confirmed by the Chicago State University staff that their certificate was forged. And, you know, people are saying the Supreme Court is the one to affirm whether that certificate was forged or not. Not, you know, a court from outside Nigeria or maybe the institution. I don't think the court affirmed that this young lady from JAM, you know, committed forgery. It was totally the opinion, or let me say it was totally the jammed. After duly investigated the whole matter, it came out with you know, the conclusion that she forged that certificate after thorough investigation. It's as the same as what just happened to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There was an investigation and it has been confirmed that he forged that certificate. How did he forge the certificate? By altering it. Now, most people believe that in the United States and other European countries, that you can actually design your certificate to your own taste. Now, let's look at it this way. For example, I'm not in good terms with probably my HOD and my registrar and the rest in the university I graduated from. So because I don't like them, and then I don't like the way they design my certificate, then okay, let's say that I love His Excellency, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Osibanjo, and then probably I now love somebody else, maybe the former governor of Benue State, His Excellency. I don't mean those recent governors who I mean one of those governors in those days, Aparaku. And then I decided to redesign the signature, you know, the logo of, if the logo of a certificate is being altered, it means it never originates from the institution that issued that certificate. Now, if actually you can redesign your certificate to your own taste, there are exceptions to your redesigning. You can redesign your certificate, but you cannot alter the signatory and you cannot alter the logo of that certificate, because the signature and the logo represent the institution of which you came out from. But if you say that the logo and the signature can be, you know, altered, then it means that that institution never offer that certificate. So it means that you can actually go to a school, and then even if you don't even graduate from that particular school or that institution, whatever you go there to do, you can actually go and design whatever you want to design and put any signature you want to put and claim that you come out of that place, because there is a policy in quotes that you can redesign anything to your own taste. Anyway, what do I know? Remember, I always say politics is not by emotion, and the politicians don't care about your feeling. It's about their personal interest. What do you think about this? Let's have this conversation at the comment section. Thank you.